starring Chuck Connors.
Paul?
Of course you could, son. It was just the way Marge Crandall came racing by. She got me rattled.
She's pretty hard on horses. She's always galloping. Paul!
Let's go.
All right?
Her arm's not broken.
I'm sorry. Oh, now see what you made me do? It's all your fault. You're always making me do things I'm sorry for.
I'll get your horse, Miss Crandall.
I am perfectly all right, no thanks to you. And while we're at it, you don't have to follow me.
I do as long as I work for your father.
I see. Keep an eye on Marge, Daddy says, so the faithful bloodhound does.
Luke, what do you do with a girl like that?
Well, Mr. McCain, you're a father. Would you talk about your daughter as though she were a sack of potatoes? Arrange her marriage, her children? Tell her where her house was going to be built, on what section of the ranch? Would you?
Bridle's broken, Miss Crandall. You won't be able to use your horse.
Now, will you be sensible and come back to the ranch? We could ride double.
With you? Huh. Mr. McCain, will you take me into North Fork?
To see Fred Tate?
Maybe.
Now listen here, your father's just not
My
gonna...
father, I can just hear him. You gotta keep the bit tight, Doug. She's a mighty high-strung filly. I ask you, Mr. McCain, do I look like a horse?
No, ma'am, Miss Crandall.
Thank you, Mark.
That's all right, ma'am.
I'm telling you, Marge, Fred Tate isn't a man you just flirt with.
You are not telling me anything. I'm free, female, and 21, and I'll flirt with anyone I want to. I'll even flirt with Mr. McCain. See? Oh, excuse me, Mr. McCain. Will you take me into North Fork?
I don't have any choice, do I? Mark, will you hand me that hauler, son?
Where's Marge?
She's on her way to North Fork. Mr. Crandall, I quit.
What? Why?
Well, I like my job, but I'm in love with Marge, and as long as I'm working for you, I keep fighting with her.
Now, look, Doug, I told you she was a high...
Don't call her a high-strung filly. I got in enough trouble agreeing with you about that. Now I've got to go see if I can get myself out of it.
Come on, hey.
Thanks for the lift, Mr. McCain.
You're welcome, Miss Crandall.
Mark, would you do me a favor?
Well, sure, Miss Crandall.
I got some shopping to do. Would you take my horse down to the livery stable and have the bridle fixed?
Well, all right, Paul?
Sure, son. Meet me back here. Looks like I'm going to have to round up the smithy.
Tell that story about the waitress in Chicago, Mr. Quentin.
Well, she was quite a figure of a woman. I don't think it'd be fair to tell you boys that story.
Why not?
Well, you're not apt to see a woman like that this far west. I might be setting your dreams a little too high.
Well, I don't know now. We got some pretty fair fellas here in North Fork.
Fred's the boy to tell you about them, ain't you, Fred? How about our seamstress? She's a good looker.
Oh, now, I said fine figure of a woman. You know, I haven't seen a really good-looking girl since I came to this town.
He wouldn't talk like that if he saw Marge Crandall, would he?
Now you're talking. And she ain't just bustles and corsets. Nels?
Oh, hello, Luke.
Ain't that right, Luke? What? Marge Crandall. I'm just saying that there's a girl with a figure that ain't just bustles and corsets. I wouldn't know. Nels, I got a plow and some wheel rims need fixing.
Oh, come on, Luke.
Well, you practically neighbors to old man Crandall. You mean to tell me when she comes riding across the prairie, bouncing there, that you ain't even looked? Come on now, how about it?
Now listen to me, boy. When I want your conversation, I'll ask for it.
Oh, gentlemen, gentlemen, a saloon's no place to talk about a decent girl.
That depends upon what you mean by decent.
Now I'm gonna give you something you didn't ask for. Advice. You got a nasty tongue. Keep it in your head and keep it quiet unless you're really looking for trouble. You got that?
Luke, come on, we got work to do.
Oh, come on, gentlemen, drink up. Bartender, another one on me.
Thanks,
Well, now, if it ain't Miss Crandall. We was just talking about you.
Step out of my way, please.
Come on now, Marge. The boys want to know if what they hear about you's true.
Let me by.
Ain't she a little spitfire? Didn't I tell you, boys?
Now, what's this all about? He was insulting Marge Crandall.
I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself. I don't need you to start a street brawl over me. Mr. Quinton,
Oh, yes, Miss Crandall.
Hattie Denton tells me you've got some new material patterns. I'd like to see them.
Well, of course. I have my sample case in the lobby of the hotel.
Marge.
Shall we go, Mr. Quinton?
Take it easy, Doug.
All right. The party's over. Let's break it up now. I'll just keep this, Tate. You all simmer down a bit. Tate, if I see you near Marge Crandall again, I'll kill you. I'll take your gun too, Carter. All right, Marshal. That won't stop me. I'll use my bare hands.
Now, what kind of talk is that, boy? Killing a man never solved anything. You better learn to control your temper.
That boy's got a hot head. That Crandall girl isn't helping to cool it any.
Well, I'll say one thing, Micah. That Fred Tate's not helping matters either. Come on, Nels. Let's see if we can get to my plow and wheel rims before something else happens. We'll see you later.
See you, Lucas.
How soon you want this plow, Luke?
Well, I'd like to take it with me tonight, Nels. And those wheels. You think you can have them ready?
If you can lend me a hand, it'll save me some time and you some cash.
Sure thing. Sweat's a lot easier to come by than cash.
Got all the wheels in, Pa. You gonna need me anymore? Howie's waiting for me.
No, you go on, son. I'll be here the next few hours.
All right. What did you want to show me, Howie?
Not here. Come on. Well, come on.
Well, where'd you get it? That salesman fella, Mr. Quentin. It fell out of his pocket. I picked it up. Gonna smoke it? You game? Me? Or are you scared? Of course not. All right. You can bite off the end. Oh, it's yours. You can bite it. How is it? Swell. Here, you try. It's your turn. Take another turn. I don't mind. Well, it wouldn't be fair. Swell, ain't it? Sure is. Someone's coming. We better get. Yeah.
What's the matter?
My shaping anvil outside.
Well, don't lose the heat, Nels. I'll get it. Nels?
What?
Keep your eye on the street. Don't let anyone go around the back of this building.
Something the matter?
It's Marge Crandall. She's been murdered.
Strangled.
This'll hit Crandall hard, Micah.
Yeah, look at her fingers. She must have been wearing rings. 2 of them. You drove in, Lucas. You notice them?
No. But I think she was wearing a bracelet, Micah.
Well, there's no bracelet now. Let's look around. I wonder if she was carrying a lot of money.
Ever see this brand before? Expensive. Hattie doesn't sell it.
Nobody in North Fork does, but I know the man who smokes them. Roger Quentin, the drummer.
This is impossible, Marshal. You can't be serious. Well, I hardly even knew that girl.
Didn't seem that way a while back, mister.
You were right friendly.
Well, she was embarrassed, Marshal. The center of attention. It was a barroom brawl. I was trying to help her out. She was a customer for my goods.
How about that cigar?
I don't know.
Well, how about it?
I just don't know.
Did you give one to anybody?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's it. I must have.
To who?
Well, now, wait a minute. Well, I can't think. I must have.
Is he the one?
We're just asking questions, Doug.
All right, Doug, that's enough. Mike will handle this. Go on outside. Go on.
I've got to get out of this town. You've got to help me, Marshal. You've got to get me on that stage.
You're not getting on the stage, Mr. Quentin.
What? You think... Look, I tell you, I didn't do it.
Micah. You'll go straight to Crandall. We better get Quentin out of here.
Yeah. Come on.
Where are you taking me?
Jail.
But I tell you, I didn't do it.
You're not being charged with anything, Mr. Quentin. Not yet. Right now, it's for your own protection. Folks out here sometimes have a habit of taking the law in their own hands right quick. Now, come on.
Dave? You see Mark?
Seemed out had his store a little while ago.
Be obliged if you'd look him up. Tell him to go over to the blacksmith shop and wait for me, huh?
Sure thing, Luke. He the one that done it?
Micah just wants to ask him a few questions.
Sure, sure. What is it, Dave?
Tell Luke I found Mark laying back at Hattie's and he's a sick boy.
Sick?
Well, I tried to get him to go to the docks with me, but all he done was moan, go away.
I'll be back, Micah. What's the matter, boy?
I don't feel good, Pa. It's my stomach.
Come on, we better get you right over to the doc.
No.
Oh, we gotta find out what's wrong.
Well, I know what's the matter.
What?
I was smoking it. Not corn silk. A cigar.
A cigar?
Well, how he had it. It fell out of that salesman's pocket. I feel awful.
Where were you smoking, son?
In back of the blacksmith's. Well, we heard someone coming, so we threw it away. But we should have thrown it away sooner.
Well, you stay here and breathe deep. Fresh air's the only thing that'll do you any good.
Pa? You think I'll live?
I think so.
Let him go. He didn't do it. Look, I just found out.
It was my boy Mark smoked that cigar.
Mark?
That's right.
Then who? I told you we didn't know. It could have been anybody. She was robbed. Here. It was empty, and the jewelry is missing.
You didn't do it?
I told you I didn't do it. Why should I steal? Do you think I want her jewelry or a couple of $10 gold eagles?
He didn't do it. No, Mr. Crandall.
Marshal, could I?
You can go. And who?
Who?
Tate, that's who.
You jumped to conclusions too fast, boy.
Oh, so we don't know. Now, I got to look. Look what I found in my slag heap outside. Those are Marge's. 2 rings, a bracelet, and 2 $10 gold eagles. She always carried them. I didn't want her to be without money.
Micah? Those gold eagles. You didn't know she had them. I didn't. Quentin just said 2 $10 gold eagles.
Mr. Quentin, how did you know Miss Crandall had 2 gold eagles in her purse?
I didn't mean to hurt her. Heaven forgive me. I didn't mean to hurt her. We were just taking a walk. I was telling her how lonely a man gets on the road. How lonely it... I put my arm around her. I thought she was teasing with me, flirting. And she started to scream. I begged her not to. I was afraid. I put my hand over her mouth. I begged her not to scream. She wouldn't stop. I told her. I started to squeeze. And I squeezed. And I squeezed. And oh, heaven forgive me. I didn't mean to hurt her. I didn't mean it. Oh, I didn't mean it.
Get out of the way, Lucas.
Crandall.
Get out of the way.
What good is that gonna do?
He murdered my daughter.
So you kill him, and Mike arrests you and you hang. That's great, isn't it?
Lucas!
All right, Pete, kill him. But before you do, take a look at him. Take a good look, Pete. He's already destroyed himself. Every minute he's alive, he's gonna have to live with what he did. Don't make it easy for him. Go on home, Pete. Doug.
Well, looks like you're all set, Luke.
Yeah, thanks, Nels. See you in a couple of days.
Good luck.
Pa?
Hmm?
I feel better now.
Oh, fine. Come on up front. Would you care for one of these?
No, Pa. Well, I made a resolution. I'm never gonna smoke again as long as I live.
Let's go home, huh?